kick off with Kirksville, who hit the road for the final time in the regular season as they travel to Trenton in search of that elusive first win. After one of the strangest penalties you will ever see, a delay of game on the opening kickoff, thought maybe that was a sign of things to come for the traveling Tigers. But Travis Leeper had other ideas. The dreaded fumble kickoff is returned for a game-opening touchdown, and the Boilermakers, the Bulldogs, led 6-0 one play in. Trenton carried the play in the first half as Dalton Ellis rolls out, finds a streaking Cree Molnex, and that was good enough for another Bulldogs first down. Kirksville defense bows their neck, though. Zach Peck jumps up and picks off this Ellis pass. That ends the Trenton drive. After McKenna Cook punt pinned the Bulldogs deep in their own territory, they marched 90-plus yards in just 6 plays and took a 12-0 lead here on this touchdown. Late in the first quarter, we fast forward to the late in the first half. Tigers deep in their own territory, and Kirksville may have 99 problems, but McKenna Cook isn't one. He takes it to the house from 72 yards out. Cook had over 300 yards rushing, 4 scores as the Tigers roared back to capture that W, 31-24.
The Ottumwa Bulldogs try to bounce back from its loss to Cedar Rapids, Washington at home against Muscatine this time. Cheerleaders, players, and fans wearing some pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And second quarter action, Matt Wiskamp from Muscatine finds the end zone. He would be a problem for the Bulldogs all day, 13-7 Muscatine at that point. Next Ottumwa drive, Brock Hopwood goes out to Andrew Alfalich, and he makes a couple cuts, gets a good block too, but eventually is tackled out of bounds. Then later in that drive, Brock Hopwood, again, he finds Jalen Strunk over the middle this time, and he gets that catch. He gets stopped short of the first down, however. Then Hopwood to Alfalich again. Similar play that you saw earlier. He finds him out on the stream, and he gets a nice good block this time from Jalen Strunk, and he gets tackled out of bounds, and I almost get tackled as well. Then next couple plays, Isaiah Hutchinson finds himself into the end zone. Right up the middle, 14-13 Ottumwa at that point. And then on the next ensuing Muscatine drive, they would be driving a little bit, but then as Matt Wiskamp drops back, O'Shea Wiley puts him on the ground with that sack. He does that to a lot of different quarterbacks. Muscatine would score right before the half, and then they would keep on scoring back and forth game. And after a 4th-and-1 stop late in the fourth quarter, Ottumwa could not score, and 32-29 Muscatine takes that game from Ottumwa. Throw out the records and forget these two are district opponents. It's a rivalry game between Mount Pleasant and Fairfield. Fairfield got the better of Mount Pleasant last year, 52-21. In second quarter action here, Joseph Hess finds Austin Smith over the middle, but he ends up getting stopped right before the first down. And then on the ensuing punt, Jordan Reed goes out left, makes a cut. He almost gets tripped up by his own blocker, but he stays on his feet and goes along the sideline all the way into the promised land. That's a touchdown for the Trojans. That would be 18-7 Fairfield after that. And then Fairfield would come off with some defense as well as Hess drops back and he gets sacked by Bryce Lunsford and Dylan Carlson right before halftime. Fairfield gets the better of the Panthers once again, 40-21, a Trojans victory.
Schuyler County was hosting Knox County in a big Tri-Rivers matchup. Schuyler County in maroon. Keaton Nelson finds Daniel Haley for a 7-yard gain. Let's move to second quarter action in the ball game. Andrew Hodge moves the chains for the Eagles. He had 109 yards on the night. However, a fumble would end the drive. Jeremiah Johnson recovers. Number 17 had a good game tonight on defense. But the Rams would not take advantage of the situation as they would fumble the ball right before it went out of bounds. A few plays later, Hodge would put his head down. Number 25 would find the end zone. Later on, Bodie Mowbray did the same thing. The big fella had 138 yards on the ground. Knox County wins it 34-0.
Van Buren looks to improve to 4-1 in district play and 5-2 overall hosting New London. Van Buren also looking to clinch a playoff spot with the victory. Garrett Saunders early on for the Warriors. He is able to find Brandon Plecker on a deep pass all the way into the end zone. That would be 12-0 after Van Buren would fail a 2-point conversion. Next drive, bad snap, but Garrett Saunders is able to keep that one, and he gets himself, cuts back across the middle, and he makes a big run for the Warriors. And then later on, Saunders again from the QB position finds Plecker once again on a deep pass right over the defender, and he tiptoes himself to stay in the end zone. Only need 1 foot in high school, but he still got 2 in there. 20-0 at that point. Van Buren would roll in this one, winning 38-0. And from one district game to another, Cardinal fans getting ready for a homecoming game against Danville. Early on, they would be driving, but instead that kick is blocked by Tyler Albert as he comes from Mason Lorber, and he was hurt last week, but he's not hurt on this play as he breaks off a big run for the Comets, cuts back across the middle. He gets all the way down, eventually is stopped at the 40-yard line. And then Brandon Potts, however, cannot handle the snap on the same drive, and that would end up causing that one to stall. They would punt to the Danville Bears. Then they hand off to their big running back, Ryshawn Baylark, but he gets stopped by 2 bigger men in Chase Courtney and Dylan Gutler. And then Albert back to work right again, running hard at the end of the first quarter, and that's how that first quarter would end. Cardinal gets the win, their first win of the season, going up 27-7 over Danville.